All right, so here we are at 42. Simplify and assume all variables represent positive real numbers. Well, again, as soon as I see that word simplify and I'm dealing with adding and subtracting fractions, or adding and subtracting radicals rather, right away I anticipate having to break these radicals up into good stuff, bad stuff. So we've been given 4 times the cube root of 8x plus 4 times the cube root of 64x. So let's go ahead and take these two terms and break our radicals down into good stuff, bad stuff. So 4 and then good stuff, bad stuff. And don't forget to write your index. Plus 4 times good stuff, bad stuff. And again, writing that index. All right, so we're dealing with a cube root, and we want to know, is 8 a perfect cube? Well, if you punch it into your calculator or use that reference sheet, you will find that 8 is in fact a perfect cube. So all of 8 is going to be good. And now we can go ahead and take a look at the x. Well, what is the power of that x? What's the exponent? It's a 1, isn't it? And we know that when we're dealing with variables and their exponents, we want to go back to our index, in this case 3, and start thinking in multiples of that index. So 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. And our first question is 1 a multiple of 3? Well, no, I don't see it listed here. So 1 is certainly not a multiple of 3. And so our next question is, well, if it's not a multiple of 3, what's the next number down from 1 or smaller than 1 that is a multiple of 3? Well, again, there is no number down from 1 or smaller than 1 that is a multiple of 3. So all of this x is going to go in our bad stuff radical. And then we've taken care of this first term, right? 8 times x gives us 8x, so we're not missing anything. Let's take a look here at the cube root of 64x. Is 64 a perfect cube? Well, yeah, it sure is. So all of it is going to go into the good stuff radical. All right, how about this x? Well, this x has a power of 1, and we just went through the whole process of discovering that when this x to the first power, well, it was all garbage, and so same thing here. This x is going to be all garbage as well. And that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Your garbage radicals, or your bad stuff radicals, should all be matching up. And in this case, they do. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can simplify this line, the second line here, clean it up a little bit. So we have 4, which was originally there, and now we have the cube root of 8. Well, what does the cube root of 8 come out as? It's going to come out as something nice and clean, without any radicals. And if you use your calculator or that power reference sheet, you'll see that the cube root of 8 is 2. And then we'll go ahead and rewrite our bad stuff radical. And then plus 4. And now our good stuff radical again, we want to know, well, what is the cube root of 64? This is going to come out as something nice, clean, and clear without any radicals. And again, using that power reference sheet, you'll see that the cube root of 64 is 4. And then we'll rewrite our bad stuff radical. All right, let's go ahead and simplify this. So we have 4 times 2, well, that gives us 8. And then rewrite that radical. Plus 4 times 4 is 16. And then rewriting our bad stuff radical. And now that we have matching identical radicals, these two terms are considered like terms, and we can go ahead and simply add those coefficients. So 8 plus 16 gives us 24, and then we go ahead and rewrite the bad stuff radical. And so our final answer for number 42 is 24 times the cube root of x.